Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here or Luna. Just want to start this story time off by saying happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are all having an awesome Thanksgiving, eating a bunch of turkey, hanging out with people that you like / love, and I hope you're all staying safe. But yeah, today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty good one. It's kind of a Thanksgiving themed story time. It happened a day before Thanksgiving in 2017. And yeah, this is a story time about me taking a pretty big L, to say the least, okay? Like, I don't tell a lot of story times on this channel that involve me taking a loss, but today's story time is one of those story times. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Leave a like on the video if you do. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So today's story time takes place, like I said, a day before Thanksgiving in 2017. This all starts off as a normal day. I woke up. I had some plans to hang out with like 4 friends on this day. Those 4 friends came over. They picked me up. We all crammed into my friend's car. And we were driving over to my friend's house to hang out there for a few hours. And like 2 hours after we got to my friend's house, my friend decided that he was going to throw a party this night. And it was a completely like spur of the moment thing. He's kind of like that. It's like that friend of the group that never plans anything. And I feel like I can fall into that category sometimes, but this friend of mine was way more spontaneous than I was. Like, he would invite people over, and then we'd get to his house, and he'd be like, oh, never mind, I got something to do. And I'm like, what? But yeah, to say the least, he wasn't good at planning things. So yeah, he decides to throw a huge party, invites over as many people as he can this night, because it was like a Thanksgiving themed party, and he wanted to have all of his friends over and celebrate like a friend's Thanksgiving, and then do like a family one the next day. So he invites as many people over as he possibly can, and within 2 hours of inviting people over, he had like 30 more people at his house. I can't even believe he got so many people to show up at so last minute. So yeah, like I said, like 30 people came over, but even more came over later on. I think in total, if I had to guess, it was probably around 50 to 60 people this dude got to show up at his house. And he had a pretty small house, so that many people just in a house like that, it was pretty fucking big. Okay, like very, very big. So yeah, big party, Thanksgiving themed party, and everything was going really awesome, to be honest. It was actually a really fun party. And then this dude showed up, okay? This dude that I used to go to high school with, let's just call him Chad, okay? Me and Chad did not get along in high school, okay? I've actually told some story times before about Chad. He was not a good dude. And I don't say that about just anybody. I don't call someone not a good person unless they really are like a pretty mean person. And he was. Like, any opportunity he could get to fuck with me or mess with any of my friends, he would, especially in high school and even outside of high school. Like, he used to subtweet about me all the time after I left school and got successful on YouTube. Like, he was just a very jealous, envious, just not a very friendly person, to say the least. So yeah, Chad shows up to the party, and immediately the friend that I was hanging out with at this party was like, yo, look who's here. And I was like, yeah, it's Chad, I know. And my one friend got messed with a lot harder than he did in school, and he was like, yo, like, should we leave? I'm like, no, dude, like, don't leave because of this clown showing up. Like, yeah, he messed with you in high school, he messed with me too, but like, don't let him get to you, don't leave. And he's like, yeah, man, you're right. I'll just stay with you if that's cool. I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. And it was so shitty that we even had to think this way about this dude. Like, he really hadn't changed whatsoever. Like, I still heard stories about him all the time, just being super rude to people. He still just acts super arrogant and crazy. So yeah, my friend was still worried about him. He thought he was going to try and mess with him even more. So yeah, my friend stuck with me for pretty much the majority of this party, and for the most part, even after Chad showing up, it was a really good party. Like, most of the time, nothing happened. But sadly, on the last hour of the party, something had to happen, okay? So I'm hanging out with my friends. We're actually around the beer pong table. They're playing beer pong. I'm just talking to my friends on the side of the table, and we're just having a good time. We're all talking, and all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and it turns me around, and none other than Chad himself is standing there face to face with me with his Chad eyes staring into my soul, looking kind of angry, to be honest. And I was like, what's up, Chad? How you doing? He's like, Austin, my boy, how you doing? Now in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, he just called me his boy. We were never boys, so I have no idea why he's calling me that. I'm guessing he's being sarcastic. So I respond, and I'm like, what's up, Chad? How you doing? He's like, good, man. How have you been? And I'm like, pretty good, man. Just kind of living life. He's like, yeah, I see that. I see that you're on YouTube and stuff, real successful, like doing good. And I was like, yeah, man, it's great. I really love doing it. He's like, yeah, I bet you do. And I was like, yeah, man, I do. And he just looks at me with this really like judgmental look, and he goes, how can you sleep at night, bro? And that just caught me so off guard. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, seriously, how can you sleep at night knowing that you make all this money and you're so successful, but you do nothing to help anybody around you? Now, honestly, I did not expect that whatsoever. I thought he'd say something rude, but that was like just flat out not true and ridiculous. So I told him that. I was like, first of all, dude, you don't even know me. So how are you going to make the assumption about me as a person and who I help and who I don't help? And also, just so you know, I just paid my mom's bills for this month. So don't say I don't help people. And I wasn't even trying to flex on him by saying that. I was just letting him know, like, don't say that I don't help anybody. Because if someone needs my help and they're a genuine human being, I'm gonna help them. Obviously, I'm not Bill Gates. I can't go around buying everybody a house if they need one. But if a family member or a close friend needs my help and I can afford it, I will most definitely do what I can to help them. And he's like, yeah, sure you do. And I kind of said something a little bit immature. I was just so, like, taken back by how rude he was being. So I was like, yo, you're a dumbass and you always have been. Have a good night. And I turn around to start walking away and he taps me on my shoulder again and I turn back around and before I could even process what was going on, he punches me square in the face, like just hit me right in the face and knocked my ass down. Like it caught me so off guard. Now luckily he didn't knock me out or anything, he didn't like knock me unconscious, but he hit me hard enough for me to fall down. And before I could even get up off the ground, my other friend, the one that was also messed with a lot in school by him, just completely charges towards him and starts fighting him and got him on the ground super quick. And to say the least, my friend 110% won that fight, like completely won that fight. And there was a huge difference in weight between them and strength. So seeing my friend like conquer his bully basically was kind of surprising. Now obviously I don't think it's a good idea to just fight like that. But it is good to know that I had friends that had my back like that and were super loyal friends of mine. So anyway, after they start fighting, two people come over and immediately break it up. And my friend who was hosting the party runs up to us. And he's like, yo, everyone has to go. All of you have to leave. So my friend kicked me out, kicked my other friend out that stood up for me, kicked the Chad out, kicked out Chad's friends, and kicked out another friend that wasn't even involved. I kind of felt bad for him. Like, he was just standing there. So yeah, we all got kicked out of the party. And when I was leaving the party, Chad actually yelled over across the driveway at me and was like, this isn't over, Austin. And I yelled across the driveway and said, you're still a dumbass, Chad. And he got real upset when I said that, but he didn't try and fight me this time, which was good. So we get in my friend's car, me, my friend, and this other dude, and we drove back to my friend's house, and I thanked my friend on the way home for sticking up for me and willing to, jump in harm's way to defend me, and it was really nice of him. And yeah, in the end, everybody was okay, no one got seriously hurt. The only two people that got a little bit hurt was Chad and then me. I definitely took a pretty big L on this night, like just getting smacked in my face and knocked over like that. But at the end of the day, I was fine. I was all good, and so was everybody else. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. I thought it was a pretty crazy one. If you guys did enjoy this story time, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. Like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead, and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread.